Hey guys, Nathan Graybeal here. Today we're going to be going over sound development and techniques. We're going to be going over a variety of sound exercises ranging from concepts like developing your embouchure, increasing your voicing awareness and flexibility, saxophone tonal concepts to help manipulate your sound into any direction that you would like to, as well as finding personality in your sound with articulation concepts. So now I'm going to go over some of my favorite exercises for approaching these concepts, and if you want to dive deeper into these concepts, you can get access to the course in the description below, and you can use code SOUNDLOGIC for $25 off. So let's get into the first technique. The next exercise I want to show you is a chromatic pitch matching exercise. We will need a piano for this. A piano app will work just fine. Essentially, on the piano, you're going to play a C, go down one chromatic pitch, and then play the C again, and then you're going to play those exact same notes on your mouthpiece, completely slurred. The main objective is to try to play those notes as in tune as you can and slur very slowly just to really work on that control. I'll go ahead and demonstrate. Awesome, so that was about an octave, and you can keep working and expand more than an octave. Theoretically, you can go down infinitely, so you can always expand your range. But if you can span at least an octave, you're in really good shape. If you are having trouble at this concept, keep in mind that all the answers will lie inside of your mouth. If you're trying to just use your embouchure, you're going to get to a point really quickly where you don't have enough pressure to provide support to the reed and it won't vibrate anymore, right? You're going to need a firm support, and all the answers will happen inside. So if you take a closer look, you'll see that my embouchure is really moving not that much. So if you find your range is pretty limited right now, set small goals of just trying to accomplish one extra new chromatic pitch at a time. So for this section, now I'm going to talk about tonal manipulation. As you most likely already know, there's a variety of sounds you can really generate from the saxophone. Some people have a really friendly, warm sound. It might sound something like and in contrast, you might hear a very aggressive sort of nasally sound, maybe something like this. So what is the differences happening there? Why is one so fuzzy and friendly sounding and the other is more aggressive and sort of nasally, and all the tonal spectrum is being used there? On the warm and fuzzy side, we're really thinking a slow airstream and more lip cushion, really cushioning that reed, more surface area. And the general embouchure is really closer to the tip of the mouthpiece. So if you take a look, I'm really just massaging all of the parts that's really vibrating against the mouthpiece here. And in contrast, when I'm doing the more nasally thing, I'm taking in a lot more mouthpiece, I'm putting in more air, and I'm allowing the timbre to really expand almost to its limits. Here's an exercise that'll help us practice both contrast. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a whole note, and the time's not very important in this exercise. So out of tempo, we're just going to take a long sustained note and start it off very fuzzy. We're really going to cozy up that reed with a lot of surface area of our lip around the tip of the mouthpiece. And as you sustain, you're going to gradually put in more mouthpiece into your mouth and let the timbre really just run as wild as you can get it. And then finally, you're going to bring it back to the warm and fuzzy sound. Now we're going to do that concept again, but maybe we'll just loop 5 notes of a scale. So when the timbre really started to go wide, it sounds ridiculous. Remember, if you really just stick to one part of that spectrum and you're playing in tune, really all sounds are viable. Let me prove it to you. So I'm just going to play a lot of random notes in D minor. I'm going to use this really sort of brash timbre. Did that really bother you? You know, it kind of had a charm to it. Now let's try it again, but with the warm and fuzzy sound. So. Awesome. So both sounds worked. The things that they had most in common was just decent intonation. So just to reinforce one more time, as long as your intonation is good, everything else, in my opinion, is more just adding personality to your sound. Cool, so the last part of this section that I want to talk about is bending notes. So a common mistake that I hear younger players do is that they really over-rely on the jaw to bend their notes. It sort of sounds something like this. It sort of sounds like you're spitting and like doing, 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 doing. I remember one time I heard a joke said to me by a director when I was younger, when I played like this. He said, you know, I was doing these sorts of scoops all over my solo. He was like, man, I can go to Baskin Robbins with all those scoops. And I was like, oh, you know, I was really hurt. Obviously, you don't want to overdo these scoops, whether you do them the wrong way or the right way. Okay, I'm getting a little off topic there, but what I really want to focus on is the right way to do scoops. So what you really hear professional players doing when they're doing scoops on jazz saxophone is they're really incorporating their voicing, right? Just like with the mouthpiece exercises, we weren't using our jaw very much. We weren't relying on it at all. So when you really rely on your voicing and some jaw movement for the scoop, you get a sort of sharper edge to the timbre. Rather than see, it has this sort of blocky, sort of heavier feeling, and it tends to have a rougher articulation by it as well. So sort of strive for that sharp cutting edge. Another thing people will do often, and I find myself doing this too, is they will also combine opening up or closing a tone hole slower than they normally would in combination. So if I were to scoop into a B flat without any sort of finger trick, it sounds like this. Now, if I put it in combination with maybe like a grace note A, it just helps assist with that, right? You know, just an example. And you can do that all across the horn length. So this is going to borrow a lot of the concepts that you learned from those mouthpiece exercises, because that shows you all of the muscles that goes on inside to really work these sort of proper bends into your playing. And I quote proper because, again, there are no hard rules in jazz that everyone must follow, or else you're playing jazz wrong. Jazz is never about that, and I don't want to make it seem like it is. Anyway, hope you enjoyed my take on how to bend notes on jazz saxophone. Alright everybody, thanks so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments what else you might want to see from us. See you next time.